please bear with me because I'm having some trouble in throat, so due to infection, so I might not be able to speak the way I should. Thank you very much for coming. So this research is part of my PhD program, which I'm doing at University of Australia with PhDs, Afrin Hank and Meg Elkins. So what I'm researching is that the government of Pakistan has introduced some technological-based support programs for residents of Pakistan to help them achieve competitiveness in some areas. The logic is that governments always try to provide some kind of infrastructural and technological support to SMEs in anticipation that it will help them improve their production competitiveness, their innovation capabilities, productivity, and overall business performance. And the logic of this anticipation comes from resource-based theories and institutional theories, which say that if a good access to infrastructural support is provided to SMEs, so they might be able to convert that into their competitiveness, be it like international or national. So, the government of Pakistan so far has introduced a very good support program, that is Common Facility Center program in SMEDA Credit goes to SMEDA, who actually initiated this program, and now a lot of CFC programs are successfully operating in Pakistan. So if you can just have a look at the picture, so these kind of facilities, which are like mostly based on technological capabilities, which are being offered in different CFC programs that are operating in different part of Pakistan, almost like every province, every city. So these CFCs provide production facilities, some R&D related facilities, and laboratory services, consultancy and training programs. So in fact, like these programs provide hard and soft kind of like support to SMEs, again in anticipation that it will improve their competitiveness. And when it comes to like macro level, so government believes that if SMEs get competitive, so it would add directly to the country's economic well-being, which is fair enough to expect. So my research question is that, okay, if these CFC programs are working, so to what extent they have actually contributed towards SMEs competitiveness. But when I was just going through literature, and I had a talk with like experts, national and international, because I have also worked for Asian Development Bank as well, so I did have some kind of view that how these programs work. So I came across the fact that it's not only programs that are being launched by governments. There is a great contribution which SMEs themselves can bring into picture, because if a CFC is working very well, but the user SMEs are not taking it the way they should take it, probably the expected outcome may not be achieved. So what I did, that I not only looked into the contribution of CFC program into direct competitiveness, but I also included the dynamic capabilities of SMEs. And when I talked about dynamic capabilities, I considered absorptive capacity and networking capability of SMEs. And I just wanted to see if SMEs were good in absorptive capacity and networking capability. So probably they will be able to harness more competitiveness benefits from the use of CFC program. So absorptive capacity, just for your understanding, is the ability of a firm to acquire, disseminate, and utilize knowledge from external resources, and networking capability is the ability to work with some external constituencies to achieve some goals. These both are like very important capabilities for SMEs. So my framework works in a way that I'm just directly looking into the impact of the use of CFC programs, and then I want to see that how dynamic capabilities like absorptive capacity and networking capabilities play a role while when CSC programs are extending their impact on SMEs competitiveness. So you can see, like, I have brought the logic from Level theories, resource-based theory, and dynamic capability theories, which explains, which provides a rational logic that my conceptualization is valid and it's not based on something, my own conceptualization. So I used cross-sectional study, so that was the biggest issue for me to access to like all CSE programs because they are spread all over Pakistan. But I finished the data collection in 6 months, and I'm very grateful to SMEDA and other development agencies in Pakistan who provided me great support, without which I was not able to probably finish my study. So I accessed all those CSCs, and then I asked them to provide me context of those user SMEs. Then I distributed my question into them, and they provided responses. So I went through a kind of like very rigorous process to develop instrument, because in research and in kind of like evaluation study, the most important part is that what kind of instrument you're using. In my case, the most toughest part was to decide on what kind of proxy I should use to measure SME's competitiveness. So if you can just recall my initial framework, so I did include all kind of like innovation, productivity, and their internationalization along with their market performance in Pakistan as proxies of their competitiveness. So I have already explained. So I was able to access 20 CSCs, distributed questionnaire to 615 SMEs. So I went through, again, the rigorous process of data analysis to make sure that my data was valid and reliable. Because if I want to help like policymakers to use my findings, so my data must be reliable, it must be valid. So I took every possible measure to make sure that it's reliable and valid. So, anyways, in terms of like my hypothesis that the use of CSC program does improve the competitiveness of SMEs. So in this case, my hypothesis got partially approved because the SMEs that are using any CSC program all over like in Pakistan, it does improve the production competitiveness, innovation competitiveness, and marketing competitiveness. But somehow there is no direct impact on the internationalization competitiveness, which means our SMEs are not getting into international market, though they are doing very well in national markets to the usage of these CSC programs and the support that is being provided by the government. So finally, my second hypothesis was that their absorptive capacity and networking capability should help them take higher competitive benefit. But in my case, research says SMEs are not using their absorptive capacities and networking capabilities to make or to take higher benefits from these government programs. So, which is strange because theory says that when organizations are higher absorptive capacity, they can take more benefits. So in this regard, at least I've brought this big program, which is like probably 200 million, 250 million investment of Pakistan. So I've been able to brought into the limelight that we should look into in these programs. And then I've been able to bring an integrated model which is combining resource-based theory and the dynamic capability theory. But at the same time, the policymakers and we researchers need to look into that why our SMEs have not been able to use their absorptive capacity. Is it because of the reason that they take all these programs instrumental? So it means that probably if this is true, my assumption holds true, so then probably the government needs to educate our SMEs. It's not only that you keep providing them all latest technology until unless they get a global mindset. They know how to use these technologies to develop competitiveness, probably such kind of interventions will not yield much fruits that we are expecting. So with all these things, thank you very much for listening. If you have any question or comment, so you may ask. Thank you very much for getting with me.
Thank you.